I pretended to be my roommate's secret admirer, but it spiraled into a proposal. Hey y'all, grab a snack and settle in because I'm about to confess how I accidentally turned my life into a soap opera. And not the cute Hallmark kind but the messy, who's the real villain, kind. My roommate Ellie is basically a walking ray of sunshine. She's the type who bakes cookies for strangers at the coffee shop, leaves post-it notes with smiley faces on your laptop when you're stressed, and once cried because she saw a dog with a limp. But last year her world got flipped upside down when her ex, Jake, dumped her out of nowhere. He said some garbage about needing space to find himself, which we all know is code for, I'm too emotionally stunted to handle a good thing. Ellie was wrecked. She stopped singing in the shower, her TikTok went from goofy dance videos to sad girl playlists, and she kept saying stuff like, I'm just unlovable. It broke my heart into a million tiny pieces. So one night after a bottle of cheap rose and a marathon of The Notebook, Don't Judge, I got this wild idea to cheer her up. I'd leave her anonymous love notes. Nothing crazy, just little compliments to remind her she's a queen. I grabbed a Sharpie and a scrap of notebook paper and scribbled, your smile lights up the room. I slid it under her bedroom door at 2 a.m., giggling like I was pulling off some grand heist. The next morning Ellie found it and her reaction was pure gold. She burst into the kitchen, waving the note like it was a winning lottery ticket, squealing, oh my god, I have a secret admirer. Her eyes sparkled for the first time in months and I felt like a low-budget Cupid. Encouraged by her joy, I kept it going. Every few days I'd sneak another note under her door. Things like, you're low-key a goddess, or, your laugh is my favorite song. I'd write them in my car during lunch breaks at my boring retail job, using different pens to disguise my handwriting. Ellie started posting the notes on her TikTok, which has like 10K followers because she's effortlessly charming. Her videos blew up with comments like, who's writing these? Marry them. And, this is straight out of a rom-com. I was thrilled she was happy but also sweating bullets because, what had I started? Things escalated when I got cocky. I moved up with small gifts, a bouquet of daisies, her favorite, left on our doorstep, a tiny keychain with a sunflower charm, even a playlist called, For Someone Special, on a burner Spotify account I made during a particularly unhinged late-night scroll session. I'd sneak out to drop off these gifts when Ellie was at her yoga class, feeling like a secret agent in sweatpants. Ellie's obsession grew. She'd spend hours analyzing the clues with her friends over FaceTime, theorizing about who her mystery admirer could be. Maybe it's the barista at Brewed Awakening, she'd say, or, what if it's that guy from my spin class who always smiles at me? I'd nod along, sipping my coffee, trying not to choke on my own guilt. Here's where the plot twists harder than a Shyamalan movie. About 3 months into my secret admirer stunt, Ellie started dating this guy, Nate. He's a graphic designer, tall, with a man bun and a vibe that screams, I own too many houseplants. Honestly, he seemed nice enough, brought her coffee, laughed at her corny puns, the whole deal. But then one day, Ellie showed him one of my notes, all giddy, and Nate's face lit up like he'd just won an Oscar. He leaned into it saying, babe, those notes are so sweet. Whoever wrote them really gets you. I was in the next room pretending to fold laundry, then I paused in shock. Did he just take credit? Spoiler alert, he totally did. Over the next few weeks, Nate started acting like he was the mastermind behind the notes. He'd drop hints like quoting lines from my playlist during their date nights, or surprising Ellie with her favorite snacks, stuff I'd mentioned in passing to her. Ellie ate it up, convinced Nate was her poetic soulmate. They got serious fast, like nauseatingly in love fast. I'd come home to them cuddling on our couch watching Love Actually while I silently screamed into my scheme's hoodie. I wanted to yell, I wrote those notes, you opportunistic hipster. But I couldn't. Ellie was happier than I'd seen her in forever, and I didn't want to be the one to ruin it. Fast forward to last week and here's where I fully lost the plot. Nate proposed. Proposed. Like down on one knee, ring in a velvet box. Will you marry me? Proposed. They were at this fancy rooftop restaurant, and Ellie said yes before he even finished his speech. Apparently he gave this whole spiel about how the notes made him realize she was the one, how her light inspired him to be a better man. I know this because Ellie came home sobbing happy tears, showing me the ring, a sparkly pear-cut diamond, very Pinterest, and recounting every detail. She even quoted him saying, your laugh is my favorite song, which, yeah, was my line. I stood there, smiling like a malfunctioning robot while my brain screamed, this is not how this was supposed to go. Now Ellie's in full wedding planning mode. She's got a Pinterest board with 300 pins of boho chic dresses, mason jar centerpieces and fairy lights. She's talking venues, guest lists, and whether to have a live band or a DJ. Meanwhile, I'm spiraling. Every time she gushes about Nate's romantic side, I feel like a fraud. I'm the one who spent hours crafting those notes, picking out flowers, curating that playlist with Taylor Swift deep cuts and Addison Rae bangers. But if I confess now, I could tank her engagement. Ellie might hate me for lying and Nate might look like a fool for taking credit. Or worse, they'll both hate me and I'll be the roommate who ruined true love. I can already imagine the TikTok comments. You're the worst. Let her be happy. But here's the thing. I'm not sure Nate's intentions are pure. Sure, he seems sweet, but he's been coasting on my words this whole time. What if he's not the guy Ellie thinks he is? What if he's just riding the wave of my accidental matchmaking? I keep replaying this one moment from last month when I overheard him on the phone saying, yeah, I just went with it. Worked out, didn't it? I don't know if he was talking about the notes, but it's been haunting me. On the flip side, Ellie's glowing. She's back to singing in the shower, posting goofy TikToks, and talking about her future with Nate like it's a fairy tale. If I spill the tea, I could shatter that. But if I stay quiet, she's marrying a guy who's built their love story on a lie I created. I'm stuck between confessing and risking her happiness or swallowing my guilt and letting her walk down the aisle under false pretenses. I never meant for this to happen. All I wanted was to make my best friend smile, to remind her she's worthy of love. Instead, I've orchestrated a rom-com gone so wrong it's practically a thriller. I'm sitting here in my room, staring at a half-written note I never delivered. You're stronger than you know. Wondering if I should burn it or come clean. Should I tell Ellie the truth and risk her hating me forever? Or do I let her marry Nate, hoping he's the real deal and my lie stays buried? I'm shooketh, y'all. Like Real Housewives reunion level shooketh.